Hey, haven't you been wanting to start a podcast?
Yeah, but doesn't it take a lot to make one?
Well, let me tell you about Anchor. It's free, and it's the easiest way to make a podcast. On top of that, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer.
Oh, that sounds amazing. But doesn't it take a lot of work to put my podcast on different platforms?
Actually, Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more.
That sounds fantastic.
On top of that, you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. So it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place.
So where do I get started?
Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, and welcome back to another episode of the Convoluted Podcast. It's your host, Jesus, aka Tyrant Dominus. I'm here with Liz.
Hey!
If it's your first time listening, we hope you follow or subscribe. It's free, and you can always unfollow or unsubscribe. So let's just jump into the episode. So Liz, how have you been in these past few weeks?
Yeah, I've been exhausted. And since the plague mandate in our facility has taken place, we're down 2 people.
Oh, you're getting short-handed, huh? Damn.
And the funny thing is, we hired 2 people, so it's not going to hurt for too long, which is great. I'm excited.
That's good. It's one of those moments where once you get short-handed, if you don't get more staff, it just makes it harder on your team, you and your team. We were in that motion as well. We recently got hired on 3 new people onto our team, which is very hopeful, and that's all we want, because you know what? There was a lot of times when it just felt like every day was horrible, but yeah, it was just rough.
I know, it has been really rough, and
but yeah, it's getting better.
Yeah.
All best wishes to everyone. But how was last time you were on the episode? You were talking that you were heading to Oktoberfest. How was that?
That was fun.
Event?
That was really fun. I enjoyed it. There was a little bit of rain, but we happened to hit like a food place at the exact moment in time. And so we were able to avoid it, and I tried some German ciders, which were bellissimo. I loved it. It was delicious. It was good. Better than our ciders. No offense.
And look at that shit.
Hey, you got that right. So, yeah, it was good. There were a lot of people unmasked, which, yeah. We saw a few numbers spike. I'm not gonna lie. But we were masked most of So, but I think there was maybe about 1% of people actually masked. I went ahead and masked because I didn't know these people, and I certainly didn't trust them.
Not a single fuck was given this day.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So for the most part, you enjoyed it. That's good. It's one of those moments where we're trying to get back to normalcy, and that's good. Whatever we get closer to whatever normal is.
Yes.
These days.
No kidding.
Okay. So let's kind of jump into some of the crazy news stories of the week, or these past weeks. Let's start with something fun and interesting. Not so much doom and gloom.
Yeah.
What's something fun and stupid?
I don't know.
So you don't. Here, the thing is, you're not really internet savvy, but.
What are you saying? I'm not completely obsolete.
Okay, then, do you know what an NFT is?
No. Okay, I am obsolete. I'm not gonna lie.
So yeah. So to simply put, for anyone listening and for Liz, an NFT is basically a. Is everything okay?
Yeah, Ursula's just taking the dog out. Hey, Urs, can I have my phone?
Okay. Anyways.
Because I realize I won't be able to look at any of the articles.
Oh, okay. So anyway, an NFT, for anyone listening and for Liz, it stands for a non-fungible token. And basically, the simplest way I can explain it is like digital artworks that are collectibles. Right?
Okay.
So think of having like a digital version of the Mona Lisa that has a special encryption that says you own this original piece, instead of click write and save image.
Okay.
So in the past, I'm gonna say, because I've been keeping an eye on it and I kind of been wanting to get into it, but the ceiling for this market is so high that it's hard to get into any of these projects. But there's like a lot of like other companies now jumping into the bandwagon of NFTs. Simply put, you're probably in the next couple months, because it's at least the last, I want to say 6 to 8 weeks, NFTs have been popping off more on the mainstream media centric stuff, because people have just been making like bank money selling their NFTs.
Jesus, I want money.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like say you bought a simple piece for like $1,000 and you hold it for maybe 2-3 weeks, and then you sell it for close to 80,000.
What the fuck?
Yes. So that's kind of what's been happening a lot. There's been some very scuffed NFT projects out there. And then there's like the ones where, do you remember Neopets? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that company's working on making NFTs. And it's a crazy landscape, and it's just like, I just don't know where to begin. Here's my thing. What do you have any questions? How about that? I'll ask you. Do you have any questions?
I have no idea where to begin with that. How do we get started in it?
So to simply put, NFTs basically goes kind of hand in hand with crypto, because most NFTs are purchased with Ethereum. So when you're talking about prices of NFTs, it's usually dealt with Ethereum. So if you can buy a piece for like 1.5 ETH or 3 ETH, or you sell it for 10 ETH. So it's just like dealt with that. So to get into the market, all you really need to do is
invest into Ethereum.
This is not financial advice. Anyone listening? This is if you want to get into this. Basically, it's a hobby, and there is chance for profitability. I'm not saying that, or I'm not saying that. You can be rolling in money if you're smart and do get invested in some of these things. But basically, you start, you get some Ethereum, and kind of basically use that. It's kind of like mobile games where you have to buy the special currency to then use it on. So that's basically that. And then you get onto certain sites. There's specific sites. The one I know for sure is like OpenSeas, and start going onto some of these projects or auction houses and buying, very interesting pieces of art, basically. There's some cool shit. There's some weird stuff. And then there's some pretty stupid shit that I don't know why people, but art is subjective. But there's a lot to come out of it, and there's a lot to be watchful of.
Definitely agree. Still can be scammed.
Sorry, what?
Still can be scammed.
Oh yeah, you can still be scammed. So that's one thing, but
Or
probably
hacked.
the next
One of the two.
Hey, when there's money involved, there's always people looking to make a quick buck.
True. Yeah. What's next? The craziness.
Oh, let's go with this stupid one that it just
Which one? There's so many of them out there.
Okay, I'm going to read the article title. Professor warns of a mating crisis in the United States as fewer men go to college.
Not necessarily. There are still technical colleges and technical careers, so they're not... That's whatever. You're idiots.
No, did you get to look at all at this article?
I'm looking at it right now.
So the quote that the Professor Scott Galloway says is, quote, college graduate women aren't interested in mating with men who don't have college degree, end quote.
Oh, really? Is that interesting? Of course I can't see it. Hold on, maybe I can.
At that shit.
Well, it says, I honestly want to say it goes back to the idea that, women have to do more to get further and to get that paycheck, as men, because it is a man's world, sadly. Men can squeeze by in their world and take advantage of that, so they make more bang than women, so... Sometimes you have to start from the bottom and work yourself up, but eventually, yeah. That's just funny.
Okay. Wait, can you please repeat that? You cut out for me a little bit.
Okay. See, I was trying to rotate it between going back and see the screen of the article and coming back into this. This is where it's a little difficult without having Discord. I was just saying, it is like a man's world, and a lot of women have to do more to excel in the world, and sometimes it's even harder for them to get a position in life, and usually it's a man, and men usually kind of promote more men than, and even though men might not have that college degree, they might be chosen over the women, so.
I can't hear you that well. We might have to.
Okay.
You know what? We're going to take a little break from here, and then we're going to come back. But before that, everyone, don't forget to check out our merch. It has recently come out. And go to merch.tyrantdominus.com to check out all our stuff. I'm currently wearing mine right now. It is nice and soft and comfortable. I knew I found the right site to produce our clothes. And I actually like the vibrant
I'm hoping to get
colors.
mine on Monday.
There you go. So basically, by the time this episode released, you should have yours. But yeah, people check out, get your podcast merch, and look forward to more surprises in the near future. And don't forget to use the code POD10 for 10% off your purchase.
And now we're back after some technical difficulties. I'm Liz, and this is Jesus, Tyrant, Dominus.
It should be fine. We should be fine. It should just be right after. It should be fine after our little ad break right there. So okay. going back to what was happening, we were talking about this professor. So what were you saying that I couldn't hear?
Basically, I think it's a man's world, and women have to do more to excel in this world. And I was just saying, most men are promoted over their women peers, even though the women might have better, better standings. But look at the man's world. So
that's not what this professor is saying, though.
Well, I read it differently. Then I misunderstood it.
So
I was taking it for that idea.
that's kind of the baseline thing. But what he's saying is that the issue is that the population growth is going to have a very very serious hit because there's not going to be enough men mating with women to keep the population going. Do you understand now?
Yeah, I do.
So that's what he's saying. It's like it's not really. It's kind of about. Well, it's somewhat about women's. Actually, he's not really saying like about women making more money and stuff like that. It's more of like him just like stating of that. Let me see here. I'm trying to get the ad really quick.
I know, right? I had the same thing. I was like, damn, shut up, ad. I didn't ask for you.
Oh my god, stupid ad.
Mr. Galloway noted that men also drop out at a greater rate.
Yeah. Yeah, and no one's gonna. Basically, women make up 60%. So it's basically for 60% of college students are women, making 40% men. I know a lot of people will get upset because they're not including binary people, but it's fine at the moment for this discussion. Why is this ad?
No, it won't go away. It won't go away.
Okay, so I'm gonna kind of reiterate this. So this is what the guy is saying. See here. Yep.
Dun dun.
So yeah, it sounds like. So for every one man in college, there's gonna be 2 women. Is what he's saying.
Okay.
So apparently he's complaining that colleges are becoming the domain of women.
Okay, that's very sexist. So what?
Apparently there's mating inequality, apparently.
Women are smarter than men? We've known that for years now.
So that's kind of what he's stating, is that eventually there's going to be a breaking point where he says that there's just not going to be enough, like, I'm trying to find the other quote he had here. Where did he have it? Where he had some stupid saying. You can walk into construction center. No, that's not it. I don't know anymore. But he's just reiterating that there's just an issue with cohabitation. Not cohabitation, but this like idea of breeding and the future of humanity.
So anti-intellectualism. The products have gotten more expensive and therefore are more opportunities for men at the age of 18. Okay. It feels like, quite frankly, our role models, whether it's Donald Trump or Elon Musk.
So,
disparage or disdain from college grads.
So that's what's interesting about this. It's like there's people like this out there, but we'll see what the future holds. The ice caps are melting, so it doesn't really matter who's going to college, who's not. Everything's going to be underwater.
I know, right? I think we need a focus to get out of the water first before we can even think about that crap.
But you know what? At that point, I think he's right then. We should continue the mating process and make sure there's enough people living in the world. People should not go to college and just breed so we don't end up extinct like our fellow other animal ancestors. Alright. Continuing on.
No, there's so much to continue on. Where do we want to start?
You want to talk about... do you want to talk about federal crimes or YouTuber beef?
Where do we want to go? Let's go to federal crimes. There's so many of them out there.
Let's talk about R. Kelly being
Oh
found
God,
guilty.
I know.
You're the one that picked it out.
I know. It's just funny to tell.
So, if anyone has been paying attention online, R. Kelly, there's like the whole Netflix documentary about him, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And apparently, recently, he has finally been found guilty of federal crimes after 11 sexually abused victims testified against him.
Yep. I don't know how people think they can get away with shit still, even with all your fame.
If you're rich, you can get away with it.
Yeah, but he hasn't been rich for a while.
No, there's only one song that I know of him.
I just know all the one song that says that smells like R. Kelly sheets. That's what I remember, like the piss. I actually do remember that story from a long time ago about peeing on the sheets.
How much do you know about what was happening with his case and stuff like that?
No, I honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been following a lot of stupid shit, so.
Shame on you.
No.
So what's been happening for the last couple years is R. Kelly's been still performing, surprisingly, but like out of country and stuff like that, and he's like been inviting girls to come back to America. He's actually had a song where he literally sings if they have has their passport, all their vaccinations, so they can come over and stuff. He literally sings that, and he just gets young girls to come back to America and just kind of does his thing. Then I'm guessing
I didn't know he was married to Aaliyah. I didn't know that. God bless her soul.
And you didn't get to see Surviving R. Kelly, right?
Huh?
Yeah, so I'm guessing you never saw the documentary Surviving R. Kelly on Netflix.
No.
So that's one
I haven't had really any time to watch TV, not gonna lie.
So, yeah, that sounds about right from everything we've been stating the last couple episodes. Yeah, it's just been crazy seeing some of the things this man has been able to pull off these last couple of years. Even at one point, his public defender, what's her name? I had it linked on here, which surprised me. Where is she? Was taking a stand on him, but it is her client. So Nicole Becker was a longtime sex crime, or is a long, I don't know why it says was, I think she still is a longtime sex crime prosecutor, or maybe she was and now she's doing something else, and she's on R. Kelly's team. She's the lone woman defending him, and it's one of those things that it's got to be hard because you're doing your job is basically, defending your defendant here on some of these crimes. But apparently she was like, yeah, I think he's safe. So even after she made a statement prior, I think it was on Twitter, that she was appalled by some of the things she saw from the documentary, but then later said, no, yeah, after hearing all the statements, we believe my defendant is free of these crimes. And she's been getting harassment a lot. Like not honestly earned. She's just technically doing her job. I
don't know. That's what she has to do. I mean, it doesn't matter who your client is, you have to defend him either way. So.
Would you? Here's my question: would you be able to do something like that?
Defend somebody who's guilty?
And you're let me try to word this right. Defend someone of a incident that is appalling, but you believe in them. So say, we'll use this hypothetical. Say one of your close friends is getting attacked for assaulting a family, And in your eyes, they're like, no, they never did that. But you don't know the full story. You only know their side of the story. Would you be able to defend that person?
I honestly don't know. Because I'm one of those people who have to have both sides of the story. And I usually find out some way or another, and whether it has to go through the grapevine or, find it directly through the person. So, yeah, I'm on the fence with that one. I can't defend somebody for assaulting.
No, we can't have fences here. Everything has to be torn down.
I want fences. I'm sorry.
No, I tear down fences. I'm gonna just no. I knew it. She was a supporter all along. Everyone, there we go. We got her. But it's one of those things where you gotta, like, how far are you willing to defend someone? Like, how high is an incident to go? Whereas, like, I can't defend you no more.
Obviously, that kind of stuff, being sexually violating somebody, even children and stuff like that's where I have to draw the line. And being accused for raping somebody, it's kind of still on that cusp where, like, can I really back that person up? I don't know the story. So
it is tough. It is one of those tough situations where, when you're getting into all this stuff of essay and pedos and things like that, that you have to really ponder. Mostly when it comes to these workers, so it's like, okay, they're doing their jobs, and to the point where at least justice, for the most part, has been served to this man. But apparently he's only getting 25 years in jail, and he'll be out. So
that's if he survives.
True. I don't know, he might end up in private jail or something.
Yeah, he has enough money to pay off those wardens, right?
Exactly. So there's really nothing there. Okay. What do you want to do next? Do you want to do a follow-up story, or
do a follow-up story? I mean, I've been following this story. I have slightly been following it.
So the case of the missing girl, the YouTuber, has recently.
Abby.
What's her name?
Abby?
Casey. I think her name was Casey.
No, I thought Casey was her boyfriend.
Was it? I'm getting some words wrong. My bad. Anyone listening? I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find the original article we had of her.
Where she wasn't. She was lost and.
Oh, Gabby. Her name was Gabby.
I was right.
So the body was officially found. So at least there's some semblance for the family and stuff like that. And people have been really getting into this story in particular. And even Dog the Bounty Hunter has started hunting down this man, where he's actually been doing pretty good from what I've been seeing online.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too. I'm like, I think because it's one of those personal things for him. He doesn't like it, so.
So have you like, how much of this have you been following, the stuff around it?
A little bit of tidbits in here and there. I knew that they found the body. I knew that Dog was looking for him. He's found a couple places that he has been at. So, I want to say it was the Florida Keys. I might be wrong. Yeah, I knew the body was found. I know I posted that article. They found her body.
How much of this case, not the case, what's happening around the case, have you been following?
I know the family came up. Casey's family had been coming forward. I know that part a little bit, but other than that, not much more than that, I think. So
some of the stuff that has been an interesting thing about this case of the Gabby case is it's been very viral. It's been a very viral thing that everyone's been watching, right? And it's been getting the eyes of a lot of people in both a positive and negative way. And calling this missing white woman syndrome.
Yes.
Have you heard
Yes, I
that?
did hear that one. I did hear a lot of spark about a lot of other cases of women missing and how they're not really getting a lot of light shine on their cases. And, yeah, but they're bringing it up widely with this case. So
What were your thoughts, initial thoughts, and your current thoughts of what they were speculating on that?
I had a feeling.
Do you think it's
Boyfriend.
true, or is it just fake nonsense that people are just spouting?
Well, I had this discussion with a National Reserve guard in my hospital, and they were saying how I don't think we're getting all the news, which I agree. We don't get all the full news, but I also see on the side that a lot of the newscasters do focus on mostly white women, and it's sad. It's the truth. And honestly, I could believe that there are newscasters trying to make the light to the cases of other women who are missing, of other races and nationalities, and we're just not getting swept under the rug. They're not taking the front light head spot. They're just kind of being off to the side. Maybe they might mention it, but then they don't really go into it. So, which is sad in a lot of ways, because these women are just as any other normal woman, me and my daughter and my friends. I think they're just as important. So, I think it's I don't know. I'm a little bit on both sides of that. So.
What do you mean both sides on that?
Like, I get it, where it is a very much white woman syndrome. And then I also see where we're not getting all the news, too. So, if we're not getting the full story of some of these other women who are missing. So, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that one. Not gonna lie.
Don't worry. That means if you go missing, you should be fine.
I know, right? I'm just another white woman. Honestly, if I go missing, don't look for me, guys. Don't look at me.
All right. So, moving on. Do you want to go with... Let's see here. Do you want to do... Do you want to do school shootings, or do you want to do YouTuber drama?
Let's do YouTube drama, because I am kind of, I don't like any much negativity.
Just get ready. This one's like... Okay, so... like I said, you're not very in tune with the online space.
No, I'm not.
So some of these names you'll never really hear. But, so recently, a YouTuber named Nikado Avocado, very famous in his online space for doing mukbangs. Do you know what that is?
What's it called?
Mukbangs or mukbangs,
Those.
depending on how it's pronounced.
No, I don't know what those are.
Simply put, it's when people post videos online of people eating, basically, like having a meal and things like that. It's called a mukbang. And it was it still is a very popular trend. It originated in Korea. It's one of those things where people have busy lives and you kind of like have to eat on the go or on your own. And this is kind of one of those like social aspects where you're just eating with someone because all they're doing is kind of eating and just chatting about whatever. So it's like having someone else in the room with you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what mukbangs, for the most part, are. It's just people just eating. And sometimes they can go a little bit absorbent. Like they go and eat like hundreds and hundreds of calories worth of food, which is like bonkers sometimes, right? Um,
Wow. Yeah, it's unhealthy to overeat in general, binge eating in general. So
because he has different wordings. So what happened was a couple days ago, as far as this recording going, another YouTuber by Moist Critical or Penguin Z made a video kind of talking about how far people are willing to go for, you know, views, for likes, for clicks, for things like that. And sometimes it can be very harming on different individuals. And he kind of picked out Nakata Avocado because within the last few years, as far as his original video is concerned, is you can see that you can see a photo of him of like from 2017 and how he is
he
now.
looked really good. And then now see him now. Wow.
And it's one of those things where he Charlie, that Moist Critical, was stating like it's kind of also the audience fault for enabling this to continue on. Yeah, you can kind of see the video, the different things, and just like, okay, wow, it can be very harmful for individuals if a habit become like an average habit can become harmful no matter what if you indulge too much into it, right?
Anything. Everything in moderation, y'all.
So after Charlie made his video, pointing everything out, and you know, just kind of overall, just more so, just bringing light to the idea of how audience people can harm basically the talent on depending on what they're doing, just to kind of continue pushing this like weird narrative. And for Nakata Avocado, it's this mukbang, just always eating constant, like just eating like crazy like amounts of food and things like that, to the point where now in the last couple videos he's posted, you would know this. You can explain what a CPAP machine is.
Yes, it is. It's a machine that forces air into your lungs. My younger brother, who is not getting enough sleep, has sleep apnea himself. He should be getting one too. Apparently he stops sleeping 16 times in 1 hour, in 1 minute. Stops breathing. So eventually your body can only push so much weight off your lungs to expand and bring that in. Eventually your body just stops breathing in that. Every minute. And it could be 3 minutes, and then you're gone. It just takes a few minutes, guys, you know, like that. So it's not fun when you're wearing a CPAP, but, you know, sometimes your body can't keep the air in its lungs and won't open and expand to gain the air that you so much need.
Second. I'm going to pause right here for a second. Yes. What? You want coffee? You can just throw coffee. Huh? No, I'm right in here. That's fine.
Who needs coffee?
But anyways, continuing on.
Who needs coffee?
My brother. So, anyone listening, there's just going to be some coffee being made in the background. There's other ways to make coffee, but yeah, considering this
instant coffee, ordering coffee, going to get coffee.
Using my coffee maker. My office has everything. But anyways, continuing on with this man. So kind of what are your initial thoughts when just hearing the first interacting with this video? You're good.
I honestly, it grosses me out. Anything like that, of somebody gorging on food like that. Nope. It makes me not want to eat for days.
But he's just enjoying food for the audience members, so.
I know, but it's not worth it. It's just.
But you need those views and clicks.
That's sad. That's sad. And then he's gonna eventually die, and then It'll be a short-term live event of him dying.
So he made a response to the video, and you know what gives you the right to tell him how his health is? He says he's perfectly healthy. He's doing well. Like
a sleep pap machine, really?
Apparently to his response video, he's had that machine since he was young, and it's no additional.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, he's had
no.
So it's only more recently that he's been putting it on his video thumbnails. So there's no reason that people should be wondering about how his health should be. He says he's perfectly fine, even though he did say in a months ago that he broke 3 ribs. But apparently it's just because he was coughing excessively. So I don't know if you can tell me that if you can cough so hard that you can break ribs.
I've heard of fracturing your ribs from coughing so hard.
I'm getting confirmation that you can break your ribs from coughing excessively.
I heard fracturing.
No, I heard breaking.
Mean.
Have you had? Okay, has there been an incident that you heard of? Yeah.
Somebody breaking their ribs?
Okay.
No.
Huh? You can bruise and fracture your ribs, but break your ribs. Anyway.
Break?
Huh?
Like a complete solid break?
I hope not. That would be horrible if you solidly broke your ribs. I can understand fracturing.
That's what he said. He's saying he's broken his own ribs.
Yeah, he's very, very exorbitant with his phrasing and stuff like that. And he kind of went off and saying that there's no reason for other people to judge his weight gain, calling him fat. If he was a woman, he wouldn't be saying this stuff.
I agree, but I don't know. I am generally concerned about people when they do that kind of stuff. It makes me wonder if there's underlying other mental issues going on behind it. So, that's where I'm at with this thing. I know.
So we all hope the best wishes for Nakata Avocado.
Yeah.
And you should
everything in moderation, yeah, everybody.
I don't know. He has to keep those views up. I'm waiting for his next mukbang now. I want him to eat 15 bowls of ramen now. No, you guys, we might do a mukbang for our 5-year anniversary. Let us know.
Fuck no. I'm not joining in on that incessant eating. Oh, I couldn't eat that much.
Alright, no. Continuing on. So...
There's so much.
Let's see here.
I was doing things, 12 bunker things that happened while you weren't looking. What's the other one I did? Because I was just going for more funny stuff and to break up the monotony. Delta Airlines shared the no-fly list with passengers.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
I wish my sister was in the room because I could ask her this stuff about it because she works for one of the airlines.
Yeah, let's just keep it that way. Let's keep it as minimum as you can. But yeah, so one of the things is I think more than anything, I think that airlines should be able to protect themselves from things like this, from hostile or over aggressive passengers, because
I agree.
So having this no fly list is I've heard of it. It's one of those things that you know is on there, but you hope you're not on there. But if you're not on one list, then you could be on another. But I think sharing this, mostly when you can be a very hostile individual.
With all the merges too.
Because have you been watching some of these crazy fights on airplanes these last couple weeks?
A little bit, yes. I've heard some few of them too from my sisters. So
they've just been they probably skyrocketed a good 300%. And
I know, and it's just, oh my god.
it's fun.
I agree. Life should be some, because I think about my sister. You're up in the air, 30,000 feet. There's no way to like control a passenger, and then they're fearing for their lives a little bit. I know my sister's a very strong woman. Go her, but you know,
She's very, if I remember right, she's very petite. The last time I saw her.
yeah, she's petite. Yeah,
So
but
yeah,
she's taller than I am.
but still, going against like a good 250-pound man in the air. Oh god, it's just crazy.
That's what I fear for a lot of them, and I know a few of them through meeting through her, and so I feel like that it's a very important thing to be discussing. I mean, I think that should be, because then you won't have as many lawsuits too, you know what I mean?
Oh
One
yeah, that's
person
been awful.
flies, one airline has an issue, they're suing that airline. To go to the next airline, they create more problems. They're suing that airline. I mean, there's going to be just, boom, 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 boom. I think.
It's been getting crazier, and it's been getting harder for me to feel like I want to travel in the air. I just don't, at this moment in time, I don't feel comfortable enough to go fly in the air.
Yeah, here I am in a couple weeks to be doing it myself.
Well, best of luck. Nothing happens up there. If it does,
I know. Luckily, I have not had any issues, so knock on wood.
Alright, so best wishes. Hope the best for you and your family on your trip there and back.
Yes.
But yeah, because it can be as simple as a quarrel to physical altercations, to the point where it can lead to the harm of the entire plane and its passengers if it becomes too crazy.
Delays and unplanned landings, and yeah, it's a lot of shit. It backs up a lot of money too for the airlines too. So I agree. Actually, I think it should be like on a generalized thing about we have an FYI on people's charts if they're physically violent or rude or any. So yes, guys, if you guys have been rude to your nursing staff, you bet your ass you have one in your chart.
Ooh, the secrets being told only here on the Convoluted podcast.
So yes, I think there should be something like that for people with airline they're flying. I think that's important because you're not only protecting one airline, you're protecting the other airline, you're protecting the employees too. So, and most
importantly, the company is protecting their assets and their money, and that's what they should care most about. Care about the stockholders. That's the most important part.
That's true.
Because if their stockholders is hurting, then the real problem begins. Because I am a stockholder in multiple airlines, so protect me. Airline companies, protect me.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into a little bit more scandalous news then.
Really? More? Much more.
So you've been to Disneyland and Disney World and all that stuff, or one or the other, right?
I've been to both, yes.
So you've been to both. So one of the fun things, like that's one of the things we once wanted to plan as an entire family group thing. More so harder these days, but we might one day still. And one of the few things that is well known about these parks is that there's a lot of actresses that dress up as a lot of the Disney characters, or actors and actresses that dress up like these characters. And you get basically see all the Disney princesses, all your favorite characters and stuff like that, right? It is one of the fun things to do that, and it's a lot of, I suppose, surprisingly a lot. Apparently, there's a lot of enjoyment from these actors and actresses or performers to gain these roles, right? More recently, a person who used to be Tinkerbell at one of these parks claimed she was harassed by married men at the theme parks.
And she said she was 16?
Was she 16 when she was Tinkerbell? Oh, yes.
I don't know.
Oh, she got that job early.
Actually, got it. But I think I get it why. When you're young and looking cute, and you're able to pass as Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell looks young and cute and petite.
And she's like 3 inches tall.
Yeah, well, yeah, that too. We just blew her up.
Basically, surprisingly, it is not the first time like over sexualizing characters, things like that. Some of the things that she said she was doing, like apparently she was giving hotel key cards and other explicit suggestions and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was just that's just wrong.
What? You wouldn't
there's a kink out there. There's a kink. I know there's a kink out there, but I don't.
Kink shaming. God, man, you just
No,
don't like.
I'm all out of her.
You just don't like our audience members. Just kink shaming them. You would. There was a fictional character that you were enamored with back in your youth.
Was I? I was trying to think about that. I don't think it was that.
Really?
I mean,
wow, that surprised me. There's always for a lot of people, there's a lot of characters that kind of caught their fancy.
I mean, I've read a lot of books, so like for me, I wasn't like I loved the characters, but I knew that fictional, it's not gonna happen.
Wow, that's surprising me a little that you ever had like a fancy for any character, because that's a very, very average thing that a lot of people talk about. Wow, that's surprising. You're an odd one.
I guess I don't know. I've always imagined like a character being like a real character at one point, but I know that in my head it's not real to have that real fantasy. Like it's not gonna happen. Like I don't know. My brain does not function that way. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna find a real Edward or my favorite character right now, an Outlander.
Basically that. Basically that. You didn't have any of those like thoughts in your youth for characters.
Well, I was very, as a lot of people would say, prude. I was raised very Catholic, so in that time.
Interesting.
So.
I was too, but I still. That's surprising. Okay, well. Everyone usually has a character or two from their youth. Like, yeah, that's a character that caught my fancy when I was younger. That's a little bit surprising from you, but well, so there's different people.
Considering who I am right now today.
Somewhat. It's to each their own. Some people just don't have a childhood crush or character crush, basically.
Yeah, I was really restricted on a lot of things to watch and read, and yeah.
Next thing you know, I'm like, oh god, I'm glad she's not into some weird like Barney level shit. I'm like, oh my god, shit, some weird. I think they're called. Well, I think they're called the you know furries are, right?
Yes, I am very aware of that. I watched from a CSI show a long time ago.
There's one for like lizards and like all those things.
Mm-hmm.
What are they called? Slithers?
Slytherins.
No. Something with an S. But there's like a whole other subgroup where it's just like people being like reptiles and stuff like that.
Nope.
But yep, at least you didn't fall into some of those random pit holes that get
Maybe
some
you
people.
did. So come on, confess now.
Man, childhood crushes. Trying to remember if there's a few. What was
Pocahontas?
No. Forget the name of the character from
It's a movie. Spit it out.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Oh, oh my God, I know who it is. I know, I'm picturing her right now.
I'm trying to find her really quick.
Yeah, so am I.
Jessica Rabbit.
Yes, Jessica Rabbit. I knew
Yeah.
it was something funky like that.
She was one of my earlier character crushes.
What about Elvira?
Who's that?
Oh, okay, never mind. I knew Elvira, but I guess she just came out. She's been living with her partner for 17 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think there's like a few others, but that one's the first one that comes to mind. For a lot of people too. But yeah. So. Alright, continuing on. So, let's get into...
Germany ends quarantine pay.
So that's fine. You know, that was eventually going to happen. It's happening here in the States now. Little by little, each state is doing their own thing to stop this absorbed pay. A lot of people were not working because they were getting paid unemployment higher than you were getting normally paid. Like, to be honest, as I was getting paid like an extra $300 to $400 more than I normally get paid, I would take unemployment.
Yeah, no kidding.
I would work full time on the podcast and streaming while I got my unemployment check, and then once it was over,
invested into other stuff.
yeah, there's so much. There are a lot of people that did use this chance and ability to better themselves, but then there was a lot of people that just lazed about and just used it as a vacation, and made it kind of lost their ability to make use of this time and money.
No kidding.
So
Yeah, but then you think about a lot of the people who are being laid off now due to the requirements. They're not gonna get it. Dun dun dun.
There's a lot of things where people are, like around this area, people are looking for people, but people don't want to work. That's the thing. But you're gonna have to work now.
Yeah, there's no ifs, ands, or buts especially with the eviction notices and all that. So,
You know,
Yeah.
like sometimes now you can't afford to be picky about where you're working because you have no other way to do it. You're kind of screwed at this point.
yeah. I was talking to my friend. She's been actually working from home due to the fact that it has been an outbreak at her facility. So they're forcing all their employees to work from home, and basically it's a hiring company for jobs. And even though they have a lot of job openings, a lot of people are still looking for remote working. But she's like, "Yeah, we have openings, but the hours suck." I was like, "I just can't be choosers." Oh, I think it's funny.
Yeah, this is one of those things where it's like, yeah, you can't be able to, like, people they're so used to a certain income now to the point where you kind of have to now take whatever job you can because, like, yeah, you're gonna stuck. Can't do much after that.
And as we see a lot of cases and requirements ramping up too for a lot of facilities, so it's going to be interesting. In order to work, you're going to need the job.
Exactly.
So.
Oh yeah, that's we were recently having this discussion the other day with my siblings and stuff. Like the frustration that people are gonna have to be mandated to do it, and a lot of places are using their what is it? Their religious exemption. Yeah, that's what it is. Exemption. Which is like, yeah, okay, yeah. If your religion doesn't allow it, like, okay, well, what am I gonna say? I don't care.
There is only two real religions: Jehovah's Witnesses and one other Adventist Invent but
Oh,
a
did you
lot
guys
of
hear that? She says there's only two real religions out there, guys. Bruh.
that are against it.
Someone's
I'm
gonna
not-
clip that. Someone's gonna clip that, and you're gonna get so flamed. Continue.
But those are the two religions that are really kind of against kind of like putting anything in your body kind of thing and
So are
statues and
those
all
the
that
only
stuff.
two? Are those the only two religions that can get exempt forms?
If people actually are followers of the faith, yes.
Can people not lie like normal humans do?
It's gonna be interesting how they're gonna frame that, but you know that those two religions are kind of uptight as it is. If I've heard some crazy stories, and
Oh my God, you're upsetting some of our listeners.
I probably am, and I'm sorry, but it's not. You know, like I
I'm
know.
not sorry. If you guys are offended, keep listening, and we'll offend you more. And you can yell at us later in the comments.
But yeah, those two religions are the only religions. All the other religions are like, go get the jab. We don't see it. We're seeing this as being a Christian value of protecting our fellow Christians. But, you know, what do I know? What do I know? So, I think it's an interesting thing. We'll see how this works out for the rest of the world. I mean, a lot of people who want to venture out of the country won't be able to, and I guess it would be more fun for us. Jesus, more fun for us.
True, exactly. We mentioned it before. We're fine with others biting the dust for your stupidity.
Yes.
Clarification.
Yeah. Yes. So, what else is there to talk about?
We can continue with the stupidity.
Okay.
With the possible, there was a possible school shooting. See here.
Yeah, the Columbine one.
Yeah, like I don't know how stupid kids are. Oh wait, what am I saying? They are stupid.
Oh, they are stupid.
So-
All their brain cells have formed.
So apparently, four individuals were very, very, very like intrigued with like the events of Columbine and things like that, and apparently they were gonna pull off a 25-year anniversary massacre in 2024. There are these four individuals who are like planning it out and stuff like that. It's like, okay, man, what? Like what?
Yeah.
Like, I have no real word besides, man, you guys are fucking stupid.
I agree. I remember that, you know, that Columbine that shook a lot of because there was a lot of talk, a lot of conversations, and it shook the foundation of you thought our schools are safe when they really aren't. So that's scary and sad. I still remember it and how very devastating and how we kind of had to soup up a little bit for a time being. I don't remember if I ever decreased, to tell you the truth, but yeah, it was a point where it just like school became more uptight about stuff. I was like, it was scary. So.
Well, it was normal for me. Because
Oh yeah, you
I
come
was
from Chicago.
yeah, so it's like nothing really different.
Middle to checkers going in. I mean, I went to school and they were very strict about shoe colors. We couldn't even have multicolored shoes. They had to be either black or white. That's it. Not even navy blue. That was not considered black. Oh, they had to be exact. Right on. It was I can't remember the name of the uniform company. We had to use that exact uniform company. There was no if, ands, or buts. I was like, what the fuck? So.
It has been, it's getting crazier. Outside of shootings, it's been crazier what schools are dealing with. Because recently one of the schools I went to are refusing students to wear any like rainbow colors to represent LGBT plus community or any BLM attire or anything. And I was like, oh, okay.
It's gotten crazier.
Like, wow, you can't wear rainbow? Just normal rainbow? Sure. Like, at this point, you should just go with the school uniform at this point. And no, I hate school uniforms. I had to do it for 8 years. Garbage.
For 6 years? Yeah, 6 years.
I got you one.
Yeah, I know. You got me up by one. But it was only because I went from a Lutheran school to a Catholic school. So I started Catholic school when I was in 2nd grade. I started 8th. I mean, I still went to Catholic high school, but we didn't have uniforms. Thank God Oregon is a little weird and different.
Oh, that's weird. So wait, you went from Lutheran to Catholic?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I went the other way. I went from Catholic to Lutheran.
Interesting. But yeah, because it was like cheaper. It was, and we got like a multi discount. Not a whole lot, but some.
Private schools are fucking expensive. People don't understand that, and they're.
I wanted to invest into doing that for Ursula, and I looked at a kindergarten, and it was gonna be $7,000 for what was it like? Well, how many? They're not in school for like even 6 months, right? 8 months.
I think it's 7 months.
7 months.
Time.
Oh, you think about all the school days off, the holidays.
So how much was it in a month?
Just for the year was $7,000.
Divided by
kindergarten. I'm like,
divided by 7 months, so about $1,000 a month.
Yeah, that's pretty expensive. I was like, for kindergarten.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's just kindergarten.
But that was just kindergarten, and at the time I wasn't making a lot of money. I wasn't even a pharmacy tech full time, and I still wasn't making a lot of money because I still had childcare to provide and all that. Yeah, very expensive.
But what about now? Is it possible to get her into private school now for her?
Yeah, 6th grade, middle school, not worth it.
No, it's too far down. Because you would be pulling her away from her friends and stuff like that.
She's already got her network down. The teachers know her. Like I'm kind of like this is a familiarity. If I took this away from her, that she's starting from the rock ground bottom. She doesn't have a foundation to build on. So even though she surprised me with a very bad substitute. She she had an agreement with her teacher where she could do something for like 10 minutes to like de-stress. And the substitute said no and called her a distraction. And she's like, well, technically I don't want to be in this classroom. Walked out of the classroom. She's like, I'm not doing this. She went straight to the counselor. Because she had asked to go to the counselor at one point, and she's like, no. I was like, I give my kid a props because she didn't have burst down in tears. She didn't do an outbreak. She was just a responsible, mature kid. I was like, I like that. That was awesome. Like, she played it out really nicely. She did all the right avenues, and when she still got the answer no, she just did what she thought was best. So, removing herself from the situation.
Smart.
Yes, very smart. I'm very proud of her.
So you guys hear that? Don't listen to your substitutes. They get in your way. Just walk out on them.
Exactly. I agree. I wish I had done that in a lot of instances. I didn't like you. Bye.
Has there been times where there's been people like that during schools? Teachers and subs?
Yeah. So many instances. I know that. Because I'm a strong-headed person. I know that I am. Still am. And
so is there any moment in your head that like, oh, this is a key moment?
I wish I had, I had the same thoughts, but I think I would still have been reprimanded because, again, I went to a Catholic school. There was no ifs, ands, or buts. And then getting the repercussions at home.
True. But is there a moment that you remember, like, I really wish I did walk out on this one?
Yeah, I don't remember the exact moment. I just know that I had a really tough teacher, and I just like, oh my God, can I just walk out? I was like,
sorry, do you not have a memory specific? Oh, you don't have a specific memory.
I don't have a specific memory. I don't. I guess I blocked most of my childhood out. So I was like, I'm done with this shit. drag. I love how it's so hard, schoolwork. I'm like, man, I was in Catholic school. You guys are complaining. I had like 5 days worth of homework in one day. So what show should we talk about? Should we wrap this up?
I think we should wrap it up. I think that's kind of it. There's not much more.
How about 12 bunker things? Why you weren't looking?
That doesn't seem exciting.
Oh, okay. How about the other one I posted? How about the funky things, the things that are normal for most of the world, confuse Americans?
If you want, it didn't seem as enjoyable. We've talked a lot of stuff. We can always add it for the next one.
Oh.
Alright.
I just thought it would be fun to lighten up the mood.
No, we talk about only the shittiest things in this world and keep harping on them because this world is garbage and we want you to exist with us in this garbage.
You must join us in this reality.
Exactly, and by joining us, you should buy our merch.
Yes.
Where can they find our merch?
Merch.tyrant.dominus.
.com.
See, I was letting you finish it. I wanted to test you.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Or it's in the link in the bio. Every little bit helps. We never really ask for people to give us money. We always give something in return. So, represent that you're listening with us.
Yes.
And there'll be a lot of fun stuff coming out in the next couple months. And a few things to mention. Some what is it? Some stuff that happened in the background that we mentioned last week. If you remember, we were talking that there was a couple hiccups coming up and things that we're changing the podcast to. But we have talked about it, so there's no longer going to be any degradation as far as the podcast. We're going to still continue moving forward with the outstanding and possibly more better content possibilities out there. Isn't that right, Liz?
Yes.
So
we've been discussing more t-shirt designs. Dun, dun, dun.
So look forward to that. There's going to be more fun stuff, more exclusive stuff. And,
we are getting down to our 100th anniversary. We are 5 away, y'all.
And
away?
Yeah. And then on top of that, we're making sure that all the places you either watch or listen to this is kept up to quality. We're not going down in quality, and we'll probably be upping some qualities on certain things too.
Yes.
We will be discussing that more in the backgrounds. We'll try to, but we want to keep you guys informed as well, and some of the stuff because we know you guys are the reason we're here. And even if you weren't here, we'll still start rambling into the void.
That's why we're so convoluted.
Exactly. It's the world is not convoluted. It's just we just make it that way. But yeah, we're gonna be talking a little bit more in the weeks to come. In our 100th episode, we'll be probably making a few announcements and stuff like that. Besides that, is there anything else you would like to add, Liz?
Thank you guys for listening. You guys are amazing. We appreciate you very much.
All right, guys. So, thanks again for listening. Follow us on all our social medias. Check the links for merch. Until next time, see ya.
See ya.